Good day everyone, and welcome back to another video. I know it has been a while, and today's video is going to be the first of this type that I've done, but it's going to be a beginner guide for, well, not beginner guide, but more of a build suggestion guides for the new league. So I'm only going to do two builds because they're two builds that I'm confident are going to do really well early on. I have played both of them as sort of quote-unquote league starters. The first one is this Poisonous Concoction character that was my league starter for Scourge and was very good, carried me through 91, managed to pretty much most things on this. And the second one is going to be a Cyclone build. So I'll have timestamps in the description, which you can use to click on whichever one you want. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Don't waste too much of your time. So the first one that I mentioned is the Poisonous Concoction. Now, the way it works is you don't have a main hand, and instead your damage is going to scale off of, other than your damage over time, your life flasks. So you want to have life flasks that have as much life as possible. I do have a one that gives reduced amount recovered, which is not ideal, but the instant recovery on low life saved me a lot of times. So basically what you want to do with the build is make sure you have life flasks with a lot of life on them, and then from there your gear is very flexible. Basically you can kind of do what you want. So I went with a Devoto's helmet, which is just more movement speed, more attack speed, because the fact that we don't have a main hand to roll attack speed on means we have to try and get as much attack speed as we can from other places. So I've got that. Next, I went with a Circle of Nostalgia, so I can have Herald of Agony has increased mana reservation efficiency, as well as increased chaos damage. So that way I can have, you know, I've got my Summon Skitterbots, I've got Precision, I've got Herald of Agony, and I've got Aspect of the Spider from my gloves. So what this does is more damage with hits and ailments against enemies affected by 3 spiderwebs. Your spiderwebs stack up pretty quickly, so it's quite easy. For my amulet, I went with a +1 to chaos skill gems. Now, this is the gear I have. I'm going to go over the skill tree, the skill tree is going to be not this exact build, basically, the one I'm going to put in the description. It's going to be the one that I was aiming towards. So the tree itself is the same, obviously it's up to level 100, and the gear is a bit better. The idea is you want to get your Poisonous Concoction skill to be as high a level as possible. So you see mine's only 21, you want to get it as high as possible. If you can craft the right body armor, which again is a very end game kind of thing. So I mean, this is what I did at my starter build. I did all of this pretty cheaply. Yeah, I crafted the 6 link very easily with Scourge stuff. So it was very simple, easy to do. You don't have to go with cherubims, you can go with pretty much any body armor you want. I just like this one because of the chaos damage. For the shield, I went for reservation efficiency so I can summon, so I can have more things at once. Basically, I would ideally like an Enlightened, so I can also have another aura on for damage over time. But I didn't get there with this build before I kind of got bored and moved on to the next one, which I do a lot. So pretty much what I did is I got a Shaper shield, and I just had a few of them. I think I had like 2 or 3 of them. And I would use harvest crafting. I would just slap every single harvest craft onto this. Anything that was available, I would slap it on. Till eventually I got one that's kind of decent. You know, I've got reservation efficiency, gain in charges when I block, a little bit of life, and some resistance. It's nothing crazy. In terms of how you want to do the skill tree when you're leveling, I started off by going up here. I always grab life as soon as possible with most builds. So I went up here, I got that life first, came here to get this life, then immediately I picked up that damage and then that damage. Having those together, because by the time you're level 12, you should be close to there at least. That's when you can equip your Poisonous Concoction. It does a lot of damage from early on. It's a really great skill. Pretty much from level 12, I used it the moment I picked it up for the rest of the game. It's awesome. So what you want to do is pick up your life first, then that damage over there. I do have obviously a cluster jewel that I haven't really used yet. From there, you can pretty much use whatever you want, in terms of, you know, if you want to get more life, head up there, get that life there, or if you want more damage, there's quite a few damage nodes that I've taken, as well as health and evasion. Defense-wise, we're sitting at 14,000 armor, which is 70% this reduction, because I am using, where is it, the one that turns all our evasion into armor. There you go, Iron Reflex, converts all evasion rating to armor. So we have a lot of evasion that is basically better suited for armor, I think, for this build, in my opinion. So that's why I went for that. Right, that's enough of describing the build. I'm going to put in some footage now, and you can see me doing some maps, and basically what it's like to use the skill. Alright, the next build is the Cyclone build, basically Cyclone Chieftain. This is what I played in the Atlas Invasion League. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the character, because while I do still have it, I can't click on it, I can't enter on it, there's nothing I can do, it's been voided. Which is very sad, because this build was amazing. Like, when I got to maps, I was just one-shotting everything. I was destroying everything. I'm going to put in a few clips that thankfully I did record, which I hope are still there. I hope I haven't deleted them. I tend to go through and delete stuff every now and then. Anyway, let's go through the skill tree. So obviously you have no choice but to go through here to get the life first. From here, it depends what you're using. So until you hit 68 and you can actually pick up a decent staff, I would not recommend investing any points in staff nodes, because you might find a really good sword, a really good axe, a really good maul, whatever weapon that will be better than any staff you can find. So there are loads of different nodes around for axes, swords, mauls, etc. that you can pick up temporarily and then spec out of later on. Crit strike chance, as always, you want to go for crit last in a build, because crit early is not worth investing into. So basically with me, what I did is I had Quake Holy with the maul early on, and then I can't remember what sword I had, but I had a couple of swords that I used. So I didn't actually spec into any weapon specific damage nodes. I just kind of went in, I picked up the fire damage over there, over here, Nagamahu Flames Advance and Hinokora carries you a lot when you don't have any specific weapon nodes. These give you loads of damage, and then you pick up the other two, whichever one you want. There's no specific order. From there, again, I picked up some more life and reduced mana cost, and I think from there I just went and picked up again more life and elemental damage over there, elemental damage over there, and then from there it was pretty much close to level 68 where I was actually getting a good staff, because the staff for this build is a Hegemnes, gives you loads and loads of damage. I went with an Abyssus for the helmet, because I managed to actually pick one up and it's pretty good, it does a lot of damage. So is the Magnate. There is a upgraded one with prophecies. Actually, there's an upgraded one with prophecies. They're removing prophecies from the game. I don't know how upgraded uniques are going to work then. So I don't know if the upgraded version of the Magnate will still be in the game. I'll have to actually research that. From there, Death Rush is awesome. It gives you Onslaught. Considering GGG decided to remove Onslaught on jewels for the tree, which is a really stupid idea in my opinion, this is besides a blast, the easiest way to go about getting it. I mean, the other mods are pretty good, you know, loads of accuracy, some armor, chaos resistance is always nice to have, not a necessity, but it's nice to have. Gang's Momentum, I picked them up, I kept them because, again, we're doing big ignites, we're doing lots of fire damage, so increased damage against ignited enemies, it helps, and it's got decent movement speed. For the body armor, I kept a Tabula because I had like 7 of these drop during the league. It was honestly the most fun I've ever had. It was an amazing league. But from there you can do a lot in terms of the gear. Like, it was originally, basically I took a Mathel build, and that was on an older skill tree, and the whole thing kind of fell apart when I updated the skill tree, and I just kind of changed it how I wanted to. So, skill tree, you can mess around with it as much as you want, but again, I recommend try and get as much staff nodes as you can, as much elemental and fire damage, and it's an awesome build. I never really had issues with anything. I wasn't dying much at all, and it was Invasion League where there's 5 map bosses in every area. I was surviving, I was pretty much one-shotting everything. Loads of fun. So I'm going to include some footage of that one below.
Come receive yours, exile. You and I both isn't over.
Alright, thank you very much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you decide to go with one of those 2 builds I've recommended. Both very good league starters. You don't need, like, you don't have to have specific items that, you know, people are only going to be getting in the end game. That's great. Plus, with the new updates to how you can get end game gear, it's not so end game anymore. It's now sort of like beginner end game or whatever. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all of you that have subscribed. A lot of new subscribers here. If you're new to the game, if this is your very first league, I will put a link in the description for one of my beginner guides that has been getting a lot of views consistently since it's gone up. So thank you to everyone who's watched that. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic league, and hopefully I should be uploading more videos soon. Bye bye.